Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this NXT review and opinions video. I am full of praise for this show. I really enjoyed it. I don't have much negative to say. I think if we're going to touch on negatives, I think Stephanie against Karmen wasn't quite what I was looking for. It never really felt like it got past second gear. As well as that, Arianna Grace against Lola Vice. It's great to see Arianna Grace back in the ring. I do like her. I liked her entrance gear that she was wearing. But yeah, that match could have done with not being on this show. Crowds a little quiet in a few places, but they were also great in many others. This was not a bad crowd, but there was just maybe could have done with them a little more in that first match. It was a little bit quiet at that point. But really, this thing just delivered. I mean, I am around an 8.25. Very, very rare to get into the 8 club. I did see Mitchell's comments. He said, I think NXT has officially earned a season pass to the 8 club. And I agree. I mean, I think this was a show that just kept delivering. As soon as we got past that kind of Stephanie Karmen match, which wasn't bad, I just don't think it got out of second gear. Then, of course, we had Julia come out. That set up champion versus champion, title versus title. Then we go to Moose against Lexis King. That was a much better match. And that did reflect in your score. Obviously, really enjoyed that. Then we had Oba come out. He confronted Moose and we set that match up for the future. Then we get the Hardy Boys. I mean, that moment alone was absolutely brilliant. An easy NXT moment of the year. They were taking on No Quarter Catch Crew. Really fun match. Some really good moments in there. You lot scored it the highest rated match of the night. So you lot enjoyed it as well. And yeah, really enjoyed it. But of course, Hardys get the win. And then Fraxium confront them. Fraxium, as they said, were the best tag team in the world right now. You're the best tag team of all time. Let's get it on. Let's see who's the best. And I kind of love that. That was brilliant. Arianna against Lola could have done without, but it was very short, and it was great to see Arianna back in the ring. Obviously, we had Santino Marella as well. That was brilliant. He got a great reaction. Great reaction. Main event, to hear Ricky Saint's entrance. I really like it. I've actually watched it back, and it's kind of grown on me even a little bit more. So I really like it. Javon, big fan of Javon. Ethan, Wes. I thought this was a really fun match, really fun main event. As well as that, you've got like Chelsea Green, and there's just so much that was stacked into these 2 hours. People say or said that 2-hour Raws just didn't work, and that 2-hour shows. Not sure, right? We need a bit more time for Raw. But yeah, here's NXT delivering a 2-hour show that is paced brilliantly, spaced out perfectly, everything just delivering, apart from maybe the odd little moment, which could have been, tighter. But I can't give you a reason to not include this in that kind of 8 to 8.25 range. I really did enjoy this. Loads of talking points. I said during our watch-along, it was actually a little bit difficult to do the watch-along. I never really struggle with watch-alongs. This would be an example of where I was starting to struggle because I was uploading reaction clips for the big moments. So I was doing that. Then I was doing polls. Then I was trying to keep up with Twitter and put stuff into folders so that Unseen would be ready. Then I'm reading the chats as they're coming through. Then a new thing's happening on the show, so I'm going back to that. The plates that I was spinning here are normally absolutely fine. But when you've got a show this stacked, it was literally have I done a poll? Did I jot that down? No, I haven't done that. Okay, I need to do that. And then, okay, God, that's going. Then there's something else happening. And then, you're seeing reaction coming through. And it was just, it was pretty full on, to be honest with you. So I think that's a sign of a really great show when it feels quite hectic and you're just all over the place, or certainly for me. And I really don't get that often with Raw and SmackDown, to be honest. So, yeah, I think we were treated to something special here. So it gets a special score into the 8 club. So Steph against Karmen, first match, good 96. Moose against Lexis, great 61. Hardy's against No Quarter Catch Crew, great 82. Then it was Arianna against Lola, good 93. And then, of course, our main event, Ricky Javon against Ethan and Wes, great 72. Let's get to your comments, shall we? Well, actually, we can just look at this first. Might as well. So here are the scores, and love to see it. I do think this was well clear of Raw. I thought Raw was okay. I thought Raw was fine, but I think this is well clear. So at the moment, I mean, we've got 25% of people saying it was all time, 65 saying it was great. I mean, that is... yeah, that is well above here. 64 there, but only 5% saying that it was all time. So that's good to see. Nice gap there between those two. And I think that's fair, personally. But let's get into the comments and see what you lot think. If we get rid of that. Boom. So Mitchell said, I think NXT has officially earned a season pass to the 8 club. I feel like we're in the midst of seeing an all-time era of the show right now. The Roadblock card is looking stacked. Ricky's theme and entrance made him feel like a massive star. I would 100% agree with you. Having been around and watched Black and Gold, I can tell you that I am getting very similar feelings. I am getting very, very similar feelings to when I was watching Black and Golds, and it has been a long time since I felt that. And the reason why I say that is because it's consistency. It's week after week after week where this is the best show. But not only that, we have got the ability now to bring in someone like Ricky Saints, Ricky Starks, who is a big name from outside of WWE. He might not have been like, you know, a Ric Flair or anything like that, but he was someone that people were aware of, right? And so we've brought him in. Stephanie, Julia, these were names that either people were aware of or it didn't take them long to become aware of them. You know, you could compare Julia very easily with Asuka. You know, Asuka came in, people knew who she was, but then if you didn't, you could very quickly come up to speed and get up to speed that she was a big deal. And that is very true of Julia as well. So we are Ethan Page, of course, coming over from AEW, and I'm sure there will be more as well. I really feel like the Evolve show is going to help here because I think that some of that lower end talent that maybe was going to have to do some of its learning. You know, we were seeing, I think was it a couple of years ago, like Thea Hale learning how to wrestle on NXT. I don't know that happens now. I sort of feel like if you was Thea Hale putting on like a bit of a nothing match, right? I'm not having a pop at her. She's just the name that came to mind. You could make the same argument with Kalani Jordan. You know, when she was starting out, I think she was partnered with like Dana Brooke for a while, and they were kind of like, you know, finding their feet. I sort of feel like that stuff now would probably live on Evolve. And so what we're going to be focused on with NXT is the people that have really put it all together now, can really do some stuff in the ring, sprinkle in some of that talent that's coming in from, you know, other companies, promote some people from Evolve as well, which is going to be exciting when they're ready to arrive in NXT. Hence why I want to watch Evolve, because that is part of the conveyor belt, really. When people are ready to move to NXT, we will see that, and it will be a moment when they arrive. And I'm just loving everything at the moment. I'm loving how all these pieces are fitting together, and I think that by pushing some of that low-end stuff to Evolve, it's going to mean that NXT really focuses on being the best version of itself. And that was Black and Gold. That's how it felt back then as well. So I agree. I think if NXT wobbles, let's say Sean, for some reason, steps away, someone else takes over, it's not as good. I think we will look back on this period, and hopefully this period will be, you know, for quite a while. But I think we will look back on this period as being a true peak of NXT. I can't say the peak, because I still think that was Black and Gold, but I think this is a peak. Kelly the Wise Lady said, what an awesome show. My beautiful dark angel did it again. Thank you. I do really do work hard. And yeah, it was a good stream. It was one of those where you just have to get your head down. You just have to plow through. But thank you, Kelly. I can't believe they're doing Stephanie versus Julia so soon. I thought there would be more of a storyline build to it. The only thing I can think is that one of them will be called up. Why take the title off one so soon? We will see. Yeah, there could be shenanigans there. Hardy Boyz versus No Quarter Catch Crew was a great match. It was awesome seeing Jeff and Matt. I'm excited to see them face Fraxium. Just so I am clear, it's only for the tag belts and not title for title. Could the Hardys drop the belts and come to WWE? Another attack, but this new group. I missed the last match, but I plan on going back to watch it based on everything 775. I can't remember. It's not for both titles. I believe it is just for one set of titles. So if you're telling me it's only for the TNA titles, then yes, I believe it's only Julia and Stephanie that's title versus title, right? Could the Hardys drop the belts, come to WWE? Apparently there are plans for them to do something in the summer, but I mean, they're TNA stars. They're under TNA contracts. So I don't think we're going to see them coming in doing loads of stuff at the moment. I would not be shocked for them to be involved at Stand and Deliver. I think there's a good chance that they get involved at Stand and Deliver around WrestleMania. But main roster-wise, I think the summer we could see something. I don't know what that's going to be. But no, I'm not expecting them to come in and have a run because they are still TNA superstars and TNA wants them, of course. Yeah, that attack by the group was a bit mid, wasn't it? I mean, there wasn't really much to that this week. Just No Quarter Catch Crew getting beat up. I'm sure there'll be repercussions for that, though. So, 775, a very good score. Brady says NXT was extremely fire tonight. Triple H should take some notes because HBK doesn't need a special occasion to book this great. 3 weeks in a row and we've not seen Tatum Paxley. That's true, actually. Yeah, we haven't. Johnny says NXT was absolute 825. Great matches, big stars, big match announcements for the coming weeks. I felt really happy watching the show, and I can't say that about Raw and SmackDown. Steph's move should be called the Badonka Dunk. That is the one where she's got their head in between her legs. Yeah, the Badonka Dunk. I like that. Steph versus Julia will end with Tessa interference, chaos. God, I hope not. I flipping hope not. Ryder said, a fantastic show. I'm blown away and speechless at some of the recent NXT shows. I can't even sleep when it's over. It was an easy 9. The NXT run feels like 2021 AEW, where a brand has got so much buzz and momentum going for it right now. Now's Len Wise said, my hubby Rob said to me tonight that every episode of NXT with Ethan on is simply a better episode. So I'm going to steal that as my own opinion. 10 smiles out of 10. Here is Ego screaming for your enjoyment. Now's an NY. Thank you. Rob and NY. Shout out to you as well. Raymond said, hello, Daze. Hello, Raymond. Said, I thought NXT tonight was very good. The matches were so good, and I truly enjoy NXT way better than Raw. So I'm going to rate NXT tonight a 9.5. Shout out to you, and I'll see you Friday. See you Friday, buds. Alan said, NXT is the hottest show in pro wrestling. Another great show with fun from start to finish. Chris says, hello, Daze. Hello, Chris. Fun and more fun. 775. It was nice to see the Hard Boys again. I hope we get some kind of interview with this new faction, maybe at Roadblock. Not sure about the title versus title match. If we get shenanigans, that would be good. If the winner gives up the mid-card title, yeah. I'm thinking like double count out, outside interference, no contest, somewhat along those lines. It's really hard to see one of them winning and having both titles. If they do, will they just relinquish the mid-card one, as you say? But then, how does that look for the loser? I don't know. I don't know. I got asked who will win, and I'm leaning Stephanie, to be honest, because Julia is champ. She's the top woman at the moment. Stephanie's never achieved that. So for Stephanie to not have that accolade and then also be beaten by the current champ, and not only that, but lose her, that's a lot. That's a lot for Stephanie to lose. I mean, if Julia loses her title, then it's obviously disappointing, but at least she will always be a former NXT Women's Champion. But I feel like with Stephanie, she's never achieved that. She would lose a mid-card title. She will have lost to Julia as well. And I don't know. If I've got to pick, I think they would go Stephanie. But it's going to be a banging match. And honestly, I think it's probably most likely to have shenanigans. Carl said, after a weird week where Raw was number one, it's back to normal with NXT being number one. It was a banger episode. Karmen versus Stephanie was fire. Presidential appearance. Yeah, that was great with Chelsea. And the Piper with the taser. Hardys and Santino fire. Love the Jada ad black screen segment. That was a botch. Can't wait to see Roxy 2 belts. Or Monday Night Roxanne. Not sure about Monday Night Roxanne. I'll take Roxy 2 belts. Ashma said, NXT cooked again. From the opening match to the main event, great promos, legends in the building. Although I was looking for a promo from the new faction. The problem with that is they attacked Robert Stone, and they were outside saying, you never know where we're going to strike. And Ava responded, please don't. And so I don't think they're welcome. So, I mean, you could do a promo. Of course you could, but not sure how you would do that. You know, they always have the camera crews just catching them as they leave. I suppose they could turn around to the camera crew and just say a few words, but I don't think you're ever going to get anything that big because normally they've just done something and they're kind of running away from the scene of the crime, right? So I do understand we do need to make some progress there. Maybe we see that next week. We've got them backstage. Overall, solid 8, maybe 8.5, said Ashma. Dean said, NXT was really great. Loved the return of the Hard Boys. Looking forward to the Women's North American Champ versus NXT Champ. Title versus title. And ruler of NXT versus Moose in 2 weeks. Looking forward to seeing the Secret Hervis and Chelsea next week. Good stream. See you at the next one. See you at the next one, buds. Matthew said it was a classic. Roadblock will be awesome. Julia versus Stephanie should be awesome. Stand and deliver match. So Oba versus Moose. I see Matt and Jeff retaining the TNA tag titles. Oh, well, that's a good point, actually. Which way does that go? Can't really see Fraxium getting those belts off Matt and Jeff, but that would be a big thing if they did, but I don't think Fraxium have got much of a future because, I mean, they keep teasing they're going to split them, and I don't know, are they just going to keep them as a tag team, are they? Sort of feel like those guys could probably do with working on what it's like on their own. I mean, do you remember when Nathan Frazier was on his own and he was doing those kind of news reports? I mean, it was not good. So I'm sure he's going to find himself on his own on the main roster when he gets there at some point. So I think I'd like for them to split Fraxium. I mean, not now, right? But at some point this year, split them and let's dig into what these guys are like as individual talents, because we might need that on the main roster. We know that tag wrestling on the main roster is not priority number one, right? So, right, Jasmine says 7 out of 10. Really good, but NXT is having audio problems. They were having a few problems tonight, yeah? So Matthew gave it 10 out of 10. Jasmine, 7 out of 10. Ryan said it was a great show. I love seeing the Hardy Boys back in the WWE ring. Roadblock is going to be great, but I don't like title for title between Stephanie and Julia. Overall, I would rate NXT a solid 8 this week. Best show of the week again. Muggsy said NXT was great as always tonight. Majority of the matches were bangers. Plenty of talking points. One complaint though, while I am excited for Julia versus Stephanie, I don't understand why both titles on the line is a good idea. We haven't even had a North American for a year yet, says Muggsy. Love this. Look at that. Shout out to you, buds. Master Taker said another action-packed TNA NXT. I give it an 8. YZH says NXT is a better brand right now. Ansul said no need for the 2-belt match between Julia and Stephanie. Taker 1990 said NXT was 9.5. Shout out to you. Such great work. If you was to build a Mania card, what matches would you do? Night 1, night 2? I don't think this is the place for that, but that might be like a separate opinions video, trying to flesh out like a WrestleMania, but I'm not sure that's quite right for this NXT review. The Daily Bugle Insider said, I'm going to score tonight a perfect 10. Richard said NXT was 8.5. I think that the female faction does hijack the production truck. Who could it be? You think the female faction, what, Fatal Influence, hijacked the production truck? Do you know what? It would be funny. You could probably have that group doing it. You know, you could probably have Ava saying we had some technical difficulties last week, found out it was that new group, and you could end up blaming them. Which people would probably accept. Brendan, shout out to you, buds. Fun picture. I don't know who this boomer is. He must be like a Roman or something. So fair play. He must be a gladiator. So love that for you. Homer said, if you had a title match like Moose, you've got 99 problems and one got a spear out of nowhere. Moose looked good. Yeah, haven't seen much Moose. I liked him. John Elite said, awesome to see the Hardy Boys on NXT tonight. Can't wait for Roadblock in a few weeks. Trick heel turn teased. I don't know. I sort of am comparing it to Anthony Joshua, where Joshua lost and just really started to dial in and really get his focus going, you know. And I think he was just so frustrated at the fact that he believes himself to be the best and he's losing. And I don't know. It's one of those where imagine giving your everything to something and then someone comes along and beats you. I mean, mentally, what does that do to you? It doesn't necessarily turn you heel, but it could really dial up your frustration and your focus. And I think what we're seeing here is an angry Trick, a frustrated Trick, a Trick that believes that he should still be champion, a Trick that, is obviously not happy with where he is in the current landscape, which is good because, he should want better. And, he's one of their top stars. And so I think you're just seeing that. Whether that's going to be enough for it to be a full-blown heel turn, I think the ingredients are there. I think he could snap, and he could. But at the moment, I'm sort of seeing where it is as being similar to, like, Anthony Joshua. What was the botch during Jada's interview? It was just awful. I don't even know what that problem was. I mean, it is just going back and forth, back and forth. I don't even know how that would occur, to be honest. It was going from the live feed to the the video that plays during an ad break, and it was just flicking between the two. No idea how that happens. Loved Ricky's presentation tonight. It was a cool video package. Adam said it was a truly great show tonight. Easy an 8.5. Recently, NXT has been better and better. Sky is the limit for the future of WWE. Rated R Superstar says, to quote a man, cinema. Stuntman Mike said it was unpredictable, and Dave says it was lit. And Adam Pierce says, love somebody today. So there we go. Right, there we go. That was NXT. People seem to really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it as well. And oh, doesn't it make such a difference when you've got a show that you really enjoy watching, when you've got a show that is a pleasure to actually watch, and there's not loads of little niggles, and it's just, I really wish Raw and SmackDown was this level. I really wish it was this level. But hey, at least we are getting to eat pretty good when it comes to at least one day in the week. It's just can Raw and SmackDown get to that level. Well, next week, really. You know, that's when we're past the chamber, and that's when I'm hoping things are going to really kick off. So, right, thanks for watching. Appreciate it as always, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.